Hi, everybody. This is Tamara from Moogly, and with any luck, we are once again live on both Facebook and YouTube. So I can see I am up on YouTube. Let me see if I can catch myself here on Facebook so I can see your comments as we go. Okay. Don't have Facebook in front of me, Jeff. So if you want to bring me something for that, we get things kicked off here. So welcome, welcome. We've made it almost all the way through. Thank you, honey. We've made it almost all the way through to the end of February here, and and it has it's been a month as always, but we continue, we strive, and we enjoy the adventure. Kicking things off right away, a little bit of bad news. I'm sure many of you have heard about Joanne. Um, doesn't look like it's going to last after all. It looks like they're going to be closing out here in the next couple months. So obviously, it's a great time to go get your yarn. Go feel it in person. I think a lot of people are really upset and sad, and I know I am too. It's always really nice to be able to touch and feel and experience a yarn or a fabric or anything else before you purchase it. But do remember most of the yarns that were sold there are available online. So they're probably the ones you're already familiar with to some extent. I think the big loss is for those who really love the store brands. Those, of course, are going to be going away completely. So that is a real bummer. So, hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody who's watching live, let us know where you're tuning in from. Would love to hear about it. Let's go ahead and talk about what's been happening on Moogly. I have so many upcoming events to tell you guys about at the end of this, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's go over some of the things that have been happening. First of all, in case anybody's wondering, I'm wearing the Cosmos cardigan, which is a free pattern on mooglyblog.com. So you can find that linked along with all the rest of the things I'm talking about today in today's blog post on mooglyblog.com. Post went up a little bit late today. We added some new features to the blog overnight. I'll talk about here in a little bit. And it slowed the post down this morning, but everything's up and running again. So that's happy. Including our latest Moogly Crochet Along Square, which is block number 4, courtesy of Pink Mambo. And how gorgeous is this one? This is a beautiful center out square. It doesn't use any special techniques. I would say probably post stitches. Um, yeah, post stitches are probably the most unique stitch, so to speak. But it really, just goes to show you don't need special fancy stitches to create beautiful effects. And this is another really, really gorgeous square. Pink Mambo, her patterns are always super easy to follow. And of course, lots and lots of really gorgeous versions of this are already up in the Moogly Crochet Along, Afghan Crochet Along group. So if you are thinking about joining the Crochet Along, that is a great place to get started and get lots of color inspiration because I think picking out your colors is generally the hardest part of this crochet along for sure. So, hi, Island and Gloria and Wally's World from South Carolina, Ohio, and Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so that is our latest crochet along square, and I'm using my stash of Red Heart with Love, using that up this year. You can work with whatever worsted weight yarn, or for that matter, DK if you want smaller squares. It's a very open crochet along, and it's free, so I hope you'll join in. Then we had a new pattern on Moogly, the Butter Ripple Crochet Afghan. And this is kind of an interesting thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about. I have so many things to talk to you about today. So this is the original blanket. I made this back in 2022. And this was with a version of Bernat Forever Fleece that they sent me at that time. It wasn't on the market yet. I was still working with Yarn Inspirations, and I created this blanket. It was intended to go up on their site, but then they made some changes to the yarn, and they ended up not being able to use the blanket. Well, I really like this pattern, and they still ended up coming out with Bernat Forever Fleece, but in different colors. They didn't have these particular colors, so they couldn't take the blanket. Long story short, I got the rights back. And I thought, well, let's go ahead and share it, right? I think it's a pretty blanket. Um, I like the design and I wanted to share it with everybody. There was no reason not to, because of course, we're all going to pick our own colors anyway, right? Colors come and go. After I made the video tutorial for this one, I realized I really think they made some changes to the Bernat Forever Fleece. Not necessarily changes to the yarn itself, but changes to the way it was named. I think in retrospect, and unfortunately, this is something I'm learning after I publish the pattern, I am going to go back and make some changes. I don't believe this blanket was made with the Bernat Forever Fleece, or am I saying that name right? I'm gonna grab a yarn ball here. Forever Fleece, yes. Had a brain fart there for a minute, I thought I was saying it wrong. Yes. I think this was made with what ended up being called Bernat Forever Fleece Finer. When I was working it up with what I have in skeins now for Bernat Forever Fleece, this was working up so much thicker and stiffer than the fabric that's in this blanket. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if they just changed some, number designations, if they changed the name, if things 3 years ago got written down wrong, if it was, like I say, the yarn was still in development. This yarn is not as thick as the Forever Fleece you find, at least that I have on my shelf today. This, if you hold it up, you can kind of see the strands are just a little bit thinner than this. So I really think this was made with more of a 5 bulky weight yarn, whatever its name was, whereas this is a 6. This is working up a little stiffly with the yarn hook, or rather the hook size and the pattern that I used here. So I'm going to go back and amend that. We'll have the video tutorial out tomorrow using this yarn, but I am going to make a couple notes in the pattern that I just feel like it will work up better if you use a thinner yarn, or if you want to use this yarn, I would actually bump up to an 8mm crochet hook. Now that is going to throw off all the numbers. The numbers are for this 5 weight yarn. The numbers, by what the numbers I mean the different sizes, the numbers for the different sizes. So for the sizing, I think it's more of a bulky weight. When I pull out these strands, of course I can't pull them out all the way without literally destroying the blanket, but I really feel like these are a 5 weight, not a 6 weight. So unfortunately, this is what happens when a pattern goes into limbo for 3 years and then you try and bring it back. I didn't realize that the yarn had changed that much in the meantime. Or like I say, what I had sent got relabeled. So I am going to be updating that pattern. I want to let you guys know right away. I still think it's a pretty pattern, and you can make it with this. You're just going to want to bump up the hook size if you do, or use the hook size in the pattern and pick something that's more of a 5 weight. So I apologize for that. That isn't certainly, obviously, what I intended to have happen when that pattern came out. I just wanted to share a pattern that hadn't seen the light of day. But yeah, I'm going to be updating that. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that right away. So, all right, thank you. So moving on, what else? We've got the Spike Cluster Stitch Afghan tutorial. It was a month of blankets. I had that older one I wanted to bring, and then I had just designed one. So this was the Spike Cluster Stitch Afghan. You can see I've got it kind of folded up here so that I don't knock everything over on my table. But this features the Spike Cluster Stitch right there. You can see this was a much requested stitch, a much requested pattern. So I'm glad that now both the pattern and the video tutorials are up, both right and left-handed. So you can follow along with that. And, and it's a really good tutorial, not just for the blanket, but for the Spike Cluster Stitch itself. Long name. All right, there it is. Oh, hi, Lori, tuning in from Brandon, Iowa. I'm over in Bettendorf, so it's great to see you here. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, you've got the famous frying pan. Yes, I keep meaning to get out there and visit it. Let's see. So that was made with Bernat Blanket All-in-One Blanket Granny yarn for the cool self-striping effect. But, of course, you can use whatever yarns you like and get whatever effect you like. That brings us, it's been a couple short weeks, that brings us already to our giveaways. And this one just started yesterday, and I don't think the pictures do it justice. Look at this big honkin' skein of yarn. This is the new Bernat Blanket Color of the Year for 2025 Interstellar Indigo. I'm going to hold it up so you can get a good look at that. Look how big this is. This is massive. This is the same 6 weight, the super bulky, the chenille, machine washable and dryable, all the stuff you love about Bernat Blanket, just in this very special Color of the Year colorway. And I don't know if you can tell, this is a much bigger skein than the usual skeins of Bernat Blanket. Do I have one right here next to me? Usually. But of course, not right this minute. That's okay. I usually have one laying around, but I took a picture in the blog post. They're like that big comparatively. This one has 733 yards of yarn in it. So 733 continuous yards of yarn. Talk about making a blanket with only a couple ends to weave in. You could definitely whip up a baby blanket, maybe even a throw, depending on your stitch pattern with just one ball. I'd probably pick up 2. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? Interstellar Indigo. Really, really gorgeous colorway. Of course, since it's the color of the year, it's just in this one color. And the fun thing is, this isn't even available for purchase yet. At least not that I've looked. I haven't checked yet this morning. As of yesterday, it wasn't available for purchase yet. I think it's coming out March 1st, but I get to show you early and we get to start the giveaway right now. So do check that out once it comes out, and definitely check out the giveaway on Moogly. The great thing is it is regular Bernat blanket, so you don't have to wait for specialty patterns that use this yarn. You can use whatever pattern that calls for a Bernat blanket you like. I think this would be really gorgeous in the octopus squish, or any of the other sea creature squishes, obviously. I think it's just a really, really gorgeous yarn. Such pretty colors, and purple is always so popular. So hopefully you guys will check that one out as well. Let's see what's next. Then we've got the Leica and Universal Yarn giveaway. And this is one I am sending out myself from my own stash. I had a free week. I thought, well, what do I have that I've got some extras of that would be fun to share with people? So, somewhere here, I have my box of items. So, for one lucky winner, I have put together a few things. I tried to kind of theme it a little bit. We have a beautiful shawl pin and a set of knitting needles and a crochet hook. And then those are all by, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. It's either Leica or Likey, Lykke. I'm sure it's meant to be pronounced with some beautiful accent that I do not have living here in Iowa. But then we also have 2 skeins of this gorgeous penne yarn by Universal Yarn, a gray and a green. And these are just so soft and beautiful. This yarn is, let me find the information here. It is a lace weight yarn made in Italy, and it is 50% baby Surrey alpaca and 28% extra fine merino wool, and then 22% nylon, which is wonderful to hear. That's going to give it some strength. So this yarn isn't going to, sometimes with those really delicate fine yarns, they can kind of fall apart on you, but this one's got nylon in it. So it's going to hold together, and you can see just how beautiful that is. Gorgeous lightweight yarns. So one lucky person is going to win all of these, and I will be mailing those out myself. So good luck to whoever wants to enter that one. Like I say, just some fun things that I had laying around, some extras of, and I thought it would be really fun to share with everybody, especially as we head into International Crochet Month here next month. We also have the Go Sadie and Twice Sheared Sheep giveaway happening right now, which I'm also mailing out myself. That one's going to have 2 winners. And that one I showed you guys last time I was live. So we're going to skip over that right now. And then one of the other really exciting things I've just started is I've just started working with Jimmy Bean's Wool promoting their blanket kit clubs, blanket club kits, however you want to put it. They do these amazing blanket clubs that go through the year. Gorgeous designs designed by Lena Skavagerson, whose name I'm sure butchering, but I'm doing my best. And I love Lena. She's absolutely wonderful. Great person. You may have seen her on Knit and Crochet Now, other things like that. She's working with Jimmy Bean's Wool now, and she's designed these gorgeous blankets. There's knit, there's crochet. You can choose from a merino wool or the acrylic. I chose the acrylic crochet. Go figure. I know that's going to fit my lifestyle best. As much as I would love to have a gorgeous, delicate merino blanket, I know my dog and kids and my life, and I know I need something I can throw in the washer and dryer, so that's what I went with. So they sent me the supplies so I can go ahead and get started. I'm playing catch up a little bit, but I wanted to show you what I've got so far. So this is my project bag that I'm using for this job, I guess you could say. I always love picking out a project bag to go with, whatever I'm working on, and sort of join it to it. I've got my Notions bag in here. But this is the yarn. This is called Jimmy. Let me grab one with the skein on it, or the label. This is Jimmy Bean's Beanstalk Worsted. I want to make sure I got that just right. Ooh, it's really glaring. There we go. Can you see that? You can see it's a shiny one. It's a shiny acrylic. It is worsted weight acrylic yarn. What more is there to say about it, right? Anti-pilling, which is wonderful. Has this great sheen to it. 203 yards per skein. And basically with this kit club, from what I understand, each month you get a new skein of yarn and the instructions for that month. Like I said, I am playing catch up. So I have started my first piece from the first month. Not quite done yet, but I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek. Check that out so you can see how that works up. Isn't that shiny and beautiful? We're doing some linen or moss stitch, seed stitch, whatever you want to call it, right here for this strip. But I'm really enjoying it. It's lovely stuff to work with. They're a fun company, lots of great products. This is a Delaque bag, so it felt appropriate since they sell Delaque items. But I've got all my stuff in there because that's the project I'm working on right now. But I also wanted to show you these gorgeous new hooks they have over there at Jimmy Bean's Wool, and they were kind enough to send me a set of these as well. And these are also by Delaque. You can see my fingerprints on there a little bit, but it's got this gorgeous shiny case. And this is the teal set. I guess you determine that by the color here on the side. But there's a purple one and a pink one as well. And they all have fancy names. I think this one's called Starlight. But I just want to show you that beautiful color shift on the case. Not very practical, but definitely very fun. And then this is a really, can you hear that? It's a really sturdy case. This is not flimsy or floppy in any way. Can you hear that? Good quality buttons, snaps, I should say. We open it up, and then right inside, we've got this gorgeous set of hooks. There's a G plus, H, I, J, and K. So sort of your standard medium DK through bulky weight hooks, I would say. Gorgeous. I love this. They've included the dots, and this is something that they've done that's really unique. These would be 1-inch measurements, I believe, so you can kind of measure as you go. And of course, they've got this really gorgeous shape. Let me pull one out here. Oh, the neat thing is, too, this whole thing comes out. There's a little tab here. Oop, let me see if I can turn that the right way. So there's a little tab there, so you can pull up on it and pull out the whole range of hooks right there. Aren't those pretty? These are so beautiful. So for the kit, we use the I hook. So I've started with that one. But I wanted to pull, actually, let me pull out this K. I think it might be the prettiest one. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm not sure these are plastic or resin, if that's the same thing. I'm not an expert in materials, but they are really fun to use. Really gorgeous, as you can see. Lovely case here. Extra strap on the back if you wanted to, I don't know, stick your instructions or secret plans back there. We've got this beautiful case that it all fits into, and it comes with some gorgeous, really neat stitch markers, or not stitch markers. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh. Yeah, stitch markers. That is the right word. Oh my gosh. Complete brain fart this morning. Stitch markers. They're kind of in that Q shape, which is really fun. And you'll notice how everything's sticking to the box. It's magnetic. So none of this stuff is falling away. We've got a handy little tapestry or yarn needle here. Again, all magnetic to the box, which is really lovely. One thing, it fell out. It also always comes with this little book. They include a tiny little notebook for you with Delaque products. Everything so far, anyway, that I've tried. But these are absolutely stunning. This is a gorgeous luxury high-end set for sure. And I am very grateful to get a chance to give them a try. But then, of course, we just put our lid back on and it's all set. And there's lots of extra room in here too. So you just saw somewhere in here, I put too many things down. I pulled out my notions bag. I tend to keep my stuff in a bag, but this has plenty of room to become your notions bag. You could easily fit a pair of scissors if you needed to in here, the pattern, whatever else. Small enough project, you might be able to fit that in here too. So a really, really gorgeous set of hooks that I just wanted to share with you guys. Let's see here. Hi, Becky from Pennsylvania. I'm hoping to come out to Pennsylvania myself later this year. I'll talk about it here in a second. Hi from Michigan, Shannon. Stacy, Mason City, Iowa. Always great to have some Iowa people. And you're doing the Jimmy Bean's Wool Tosh crochet blanket. Okay, that's the higher end one. That's the nice merino one. And I'm so glad you're loving it. That does look like gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. It was a hard choice. It was a hard choice to go with the acrylic. They're all beautiful. But, you know, got to pick the one that fits your lifestyle, right? So those are what I'm working on right now. That's exciting. My next free pattern is going to be a hat. And it is using We Crochet Hawthorne, which is, so it's a 1 skein pattern. I've got 2 adult sizes, an adult small and an adult large, but this is a very stretchy fabric and a very stretchy yarn. So normally I require a large hat. Irish heritage, what can I say? But this one, even the small fits me. So this one is the newest pattern that will be up on Moogly. You can see it features a really simple swirl right here. And this one will be part of the International crochet month blog hop happening on Underground Crafter. I try to do a couple of her crochet alongs every year, and this one she's going to have a new pattern, I believe, every day of March out there. Lots of different bloggers participating, of course. She's not doing them all herself, nor am I. But really, just a simple, fun pattern. And I talk a little bit in the pattern about how it really represents so many of the things I love about crochet. I love that it's one skein. I love that it is sort of instant gratification. You know, you've got something immediately you can wear. It doesn't require like blocking or anything like that. You could block it if you wanted to, but I don't think this one needs it. It might be heresy, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think you need to block this one. And it's a really meditative, I call it a meditative stitch pattern. It's something where you can just relax and stitch and not worry about it, get it memorized. And like, as I say, at the end of the road trip, at the end of the evening, you're going to have something you can hold up and say, look what I made. And that's genuinely how I got into crochet. That's what made me fall in love with it. I had always been crafty. I always enjoyed crafting and making different things, but I loved being able to sit down, and really it started with hats for me. It was making hats for my daughter when she was a toddler. And I could say, you know, the house might be a mess again. The dishes have repiled up. There's always more laundry, but look what I made. So this will be my first pattern in March to help celebrate International Crochet Month. A simple pattern, but like I say, that's kind of what made me fall in love with crochet to begin with. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. So thank you so much, Cecilia. Yes, and Becky, you're about an hour from the event I'm going to in June. I hope you'll consider coming. That would be amazing. And Donna Mason from Northwest Iowa. I love it. We've got quite the local group going today. YouTube must be sending out notifications with a little bit of a target there. All right, so that's everything that's happening. That's our sneak peek. Now let's talk about the special events coming up. Actually, before I get to that, I want to mention real quick one other thing. If you go to mooglyblog.com today, which I hope you will, and check out some of the links from today's live and all the other cool stuff, you may notice on the right side of the screen, it's going to scroll along with you. It's just two tiny little dots. It should be like a heart and a number, and then what's under the number, babe? Another little symbol. This is a new thing. Like I say, it's brand new. We just installed it last night. It's a search. Thank you, honey. It's the search symbol. So this is really exciting. One of the hardest things as a blogger is to get a really good search going for the site itself, to let you guys search the site really well. And the last one we installed was an improvement. It was definitely an improvement over the previous one, but this one is so much better. I'm so excited. So this is a much better little search button. You can still search the top. It's where there's the magnifying glass symbol at the very top of the blog. That still works as well. That will be the same system, but there's one along the side now allowing you to search that is, like I say, just so much of a better search than what we had before. I'm really excited about that. And the other great thing is if you push that little heart button, it gives you the opportunity to put in your email address, and then it will email you a link to whatever it is you're looking at, which sounds kind of weird, but I actually love it. I discovered this by going to recipe blogs. I was on a recipe blog earlier this week. I cook recipes from blogs all the time. I love it. I swear I never cooked the same thing twice, though. But I wanted this recipe, and I noticed they had this little system, and it's something we'd been considering. So I went ahead and tried it out, and it was great. All I had to do was type in my email address, and then it sent a link to the recipe right to my email, which was great because then I could go onto my desktop and print it out, or just open it from my email and have it right there. So I really loved that service when I found it on recipe blogs. So we decided to try and implement it on Moogly as well. And I really hope you guys like it. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of it. If you think it's intrusive, if it's in the way. If you don't like the colors, we can change that too. But it's just another way to hopefully make Moogly even easier for you guys to use. And like I say, I'm really excited about the new search. I think it's so much better. So, yay, awesome. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate the support so much. Okay, so that's everything. Now we can get to the special events coming up. I've even heard I can officially mention one more that isn't even on the list yet, and I don't even have anywhere to send it to you yet, but we can talk about it. So, first and foremost, I am part of the Free Crochet Business Summit happening online. This is online only, March 5th through the 7th. So if you're somebody who has a crochet business or is considering having a crochet business, it's a free 3-day event. There are, options certainly to upgrade, but you can attend all 3 days, all the classes for free. So I have a link for that in today's post as well. I've also been sharing it across social media, but we all know, you see what you see, and that's up to the social media platform. So I like to make sure you guys hear about it. Then we've got our in-person events, and I'm really excited about that. I've got 5 of them so far that I can tell you guys about. It's still coming up this year, which is a lot for me. I'm very excited. First of all, we've got Stitch Up Chicago, which is happening in person in Chicago. Go figure. April 4th and 5th. And when I was in the meeting about it yesterday, there were exactly 5 tickets left. So this one is almost sold out. Go ahead and grab those tickets if you're going to be in the Chicago area. We would love to see you there. It's an incredibly unique event. Maxes out at 150 people. So it is smaller, and that's for the whole event. And it's like I say, it's a smaller group. It's not like a big, you're going to get lost in the crowd, like some of these bigger events. And it's just really more intimate, and it's a great place to get to know other knitters and crocheters if you do live in the Chicagoland area. Or if you want to travel in, that's amazing too. One of the things that, even once all the tickets are sold out, I really wanted to mention is Patty Lyons, who you may know. She's an amazing knitter. If you knit, you should know the name Patty Lyons. She will be at the event with me, being another one of the amazing hosts, along with some other fabulous people. But on the last day of the event, she will be helping to run the Knit for Food live stream. Lots of things going on, I know. But Knit for Food is an amazing charity event that's been going for a few years. I believe Laura Nelkin started it. Everything goes to 4 or 5 different charities that support feeding hungry people. And at the end of the day, what's wrong with that? So Patty Lyons will be hosting live some of the Knit for Food event from Stitch Up Chicago. So hopefully, even if you aren't able to get tickets or you aren't in the Chicagoland area, you'll be able to join the live Knit for Food. Again, I've got more information linked on that in today's blog post. So do check that out. It's a wonderful, wonderful initiative. Then we're getting to Pennsylvania. We made it. We've got the Lancaster Yarn Shop one-day crocheters retreat. And that will be in person at the Lancaster Yarn Shop, which is actually in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. My bad. I keep saying it's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Go figure. But it's actually in Intercourse, Pennsylvania, but it's the Lancaster Yarn Shop, and that's happening June 21st. And that is going to be an all-day retreat, all about crochet with me. We'll be going over some bobbin work, we'll be doing some amigurumi stuff, and in the afternoon, we'll be making a really simple top together, as well as answering all your crochet questions. Just bring them. When there's a local event like that, if you've got another pattern you're stuck on, bring it, bring the instructions. That'll be important, but bring it with, and we'll be able to tackle those a little bit too, hopefully. So I'm excited about that one. And that one we get to do, it's like an old Amish schoolhouse we're going to be in for the day. So that one is very exciting, very cool. If you haven't been out to Pennsylvania, it is a beautiful part of the country. Lots of Amish people out there, for sure. But it's going to be so beautiful out there in June. Now, this one's not on the list because I don't have anywhere to send it to you yet, or to send you for it yet. But hopefully in the next week, they're going to be announcing the Crochet Guild of America Conference for 2025. It is back, and it looks like it's going to be better than ever. I am so excited. I love the twist, the changes that the new board has made. There's a new vibrant board there. They've been making some big moves, and I'm very excited by it, and I'm excited that I will be there in Reno, Nevada in July as one of the teachers. Now, the actual date, did I write that down? No, because again, they haven't announced that yet, but it's going to be in the second half of July, and I will be there as one of your teachers, and it will be in Reno, Nevada, and that is all I know about it right now. So there will be more information on that coming out, hopefully within the next week or so, and I'll get that information to you guys as soon as I can. I think that will be the furthest west so far that I'm planning to travel this year. Now, after I get back from all that, we head into the fall. In September, we will be going to Scotland. Big trip. That is one of the big, big trips. And I've been pushing that one for a little while and telling you guys about that one for a little while because the cutoff date for that is May. Simply because it's international travel, and we all know that takes a lot of planning and work for the travel company, to get everybody's information and put it all together and make sure everybody has their paperwork. So the cutoff for that one is May. So that's why I really have been talking about that one for a while now. So that one's coming up. Scotland in September. It's going to be amazing. If you love tartans, if you love Scotland, if you love crochet, if you love Outlander, all of those things will be involved in this trip. So very exciting stuff. come back from Scotland, and in October, I will be heading north for me up to Big Raven Farm in Minnesota, where I will be doing Cozy Stitches, a fall crochet retreat. And again, that's at Big Raven Farm in Minnesota, October 23rd through the 26th. And this one is going to be very, very different. This isn't going to be your standard crochet, retreat where we come in and maybe work a couple patterns. This one is going to be more about creating art and exploring your creativity through crochet. So I'm really excited about that. Finally, we will wrap up the year, hopefully, with a trip to Austria and Bavaria in December. So that's another craft tours trip. The cutoff for that one, I want to say, is like August. So we've got a little bit of time to decide on that one, but not a whole lot. Again, it just takes time to plan those trips, so they have to stop selling those tickets a whole lot earlier than, say, the rest would. But that's going to be amazing. The Austria-Bavaria trip is going to be all about the Christmas markets. So we'll see some other sites as well. I think we're going to go see a chapel, one of the first chapels where they played Silent Night. Not as familiar with that one. We're supposed to see some sites from The Sound of Music. There's an optional strudel making class and glass blowing class, which I'm really excited about. I've always been fascinated by glass blowing, and it's not exactly the hobby you pick up from Joanne or Michael's, right? It's a little bit of a big deal. So I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, like I say, all the Christmas markets. And just like Scotland, I'll be teaching you some crochet along the way as well. So, lots and lots and lots of travel and events planned for this year. Like I say, I don't have any information on the CGOA one yet. That one is still to come. They're still working on it, working on all their back end stuff, getting it all set up so we can tell you about it. And then I hopefully will have one more online event this fall. So I will keep you updated on that as we go. Meanwhile, I'll keep doing these lives every 2 weeks or so here on Facebook and YouTube. Lots and lots of stuff. So I know, like I say, that was so many things. Definitely head over to the blog today. Everything I've talked about is linked in today's blog post, and you can get links to all those trips, learn more about them, see what fits your budget, see what fits your schedule for the year. Hopefully, with all those things, at least one of those you'll be able to attend, because I'd love to see you there. So, to close things out, I got a box in the mail yesterday, and I thought, let's do a live unboxing since we're doing a live today. Why not? A little treat for those who stayed all the way to the end. So, this I got because I am one of the hosts of Stitch Up Chicago, which I was just telling you about. And this is a gift from Twice Sheared Sheep, which I believe will be related. I did sneak in and pull out the information sheet to the workshop that we will be doing at Stitch Up Chicago that involves their stuff. So I'm going to open that up. Isn't that beautiful? Love a beautifully packaged package. I am a sucker for packaging, I'll admit it. See if we can open this up here without going completely off camera. And without just dumping everything on the table. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? What a lovely set of items. Let's go ahead and pull them out together. This is, let's see, yarn, obviously. It is Twice Sheared Sheep Color Story DK. So this is a hand-dyed yarn in the color River. Isn't that pretty? Got some fuzzies from the packaging in there, but gorgeous. Oh, look at that, just color variation. You can tell it's a hand-dyed. It's got that little bit of variation in it. Gorgeous stuff. I'll have to wind that up later. We've got some snag-free stitch markers. And I believe from reading the sheet, these work for both knit and crochet. They come on and off, which is lovely. And this is something that I know Twice Sheared Sheep is really excited about. They have this snag-free row counter, which is great. Now, for crocheters, it's a little easier for us, usually, to count our rows. Knitters, it can be a little bit more difficult, but sometimes even with really, sometimes some stitch patterns, it can get confusing to see which row you're on. And of course, if you're a newer crocheter as well, that can be confusing. So using something like this can be really helpful, for sure. I know I still consider myself sort of a advanced beginner, I guess, when it comes to knitting. So I need all the help with my knitting I can get. I'm not sure what's going to be in this beautiful pouch. Let's see. It's, cord quill. Okay, now I'm interested. Let's see. I am not familiar with this tool. So that is very exciting. Let's see here. Oop. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, I have seen similar products like this, but I haven't had a chance to give them a try yet. This is, I believe, a tool for making I-cord, um, without having to make I-cord the usual way. So yes, it says cast on, bind off, wire art, and I-cord embellishments. And it's got a little QR code so you can scan to learn how to use it. But isn't that lovely? Look at that gorgeous real wood. Yes, real wooden handle. It's got a little thumb indent right there. That is really pretty. I'm excited to give this a try. I've been wanting to try one of these I-cord makers like this, and I haven't done it yet, so that's really cool. We have some more stitch markers. Very pretty right there. And then, ooh, these are fun. Okay, this is the Pom Llama for making pom-poms and tassels, it looks like. Maybe? You could probably figure out how to use it for making tassels too. But it looks like it's made for making pom-poms. There we go. Very fun. And then this is their quick gauge. So you can, oh, hard to show on camera because it wants to be real glary. But basically, you can see it's got a clear film on it too that needs to be peeled off. But this one, you can lay it over your fabric like so. And then you can see and slide it around and figure out what your gauge is without having to count. So it is a gauge tool that, because it is clear, is incredibly difficult to show on camera. There we go. So you can kind of see it there. So this is really different. I have not used a gauge tool like this before, so I'm excited to give it a whirl and see how it works. But this is some lovely stuff. So thank you so much to Twice Shared Sheep. And I believe if you go to Stitch Up Chicago, at least some of these things will be in your future as well. So really beautiful things from Twice Shared Sheep. Thank you again. I hope, like I say, if you're anywhere in the Chicagoland area, you'll join me at Stitch Up Chicago. That's my next big in-person event. I will be there as one of your hosts. I'll be leading a couple workshops, debuting a couple patterns that will go up on the blog later in the year, so you won't miss out on those, but they'll make their debut there. So hopefully, if you can make it, I will see you there. So, all right, it looks like I'm caught up on the comments, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you joining me today. Thank you so much for sticking around for that live unboxing. That was really fun. Hopefully I'll get some more packages that we can open together. And in the meantime, definitely, like I say, check out today's links and all those events, and have a wonderful, safe day, and keep on stitching. Talk to you later, everybody.